One person is dead following a crash in which Brooklyn Park police say a motorist was driving recklessly through yards in a residential neighborhood. The crash happened Sunday around 10 p.m. on the 7200 block of 73rd Avenue North. Police say the vehicle struck a tree, killing the driver and a passenger. Both were pronounced dead at a local hospital. Their identities have not yet been released. Over the last 2 years, long-term care facilities have had to face extraordinary challenges, from COVID-19 to immense staffing shortages. Through all those challenges at St. Therese Senior Care, there has been one constant. Its president and CEO, Barb Rohde. But as Corey Bork reports, the longtime leader is retiring and will step aside at a time of new beginnings for the care facility.
This is where I started, was at New Hope with St. Therese.
Here at St. Therese Senior Living in New Hope.
They love it. I mean, this is like their big backyard.
Residents will soon embrace spring.
They plant all the flowers themselves, and they have their own plant buckets.
CEO Barb Rohde has embraced St. Therese for the past 2 decades.
It's just been incredible to see this place flourish.
Joined every year by a facility favorite.
Ever since I've been here, and that's 21 years.
Just like Barb, this duck keeps coming back.
She's been over there, she's been in the front.
Bringing with her a feeling of down-home comfort.
Once the babies come, this whole patio will be filled, just watching the babies take off.
And just like this mother duck, Barb watches over her own flock.
So I'll go out and make beds, I'll pass trays or get food to the residents. I'll vacuum, whatever it takes, we all pitch in.
Enduring significant challenges along the way.
Oh my goodness.
Staffing struggles during a global pandemic have taken a toll.
We cannot find nurses or nursing assistants.
Rohde says she's down more than 200 staff members, or about 20% of her workforce, across the St. Therese system.
They've been underpaid for years and years and years.
She hopes with a state surplus, a funding solution can be found.
I think the funding and their wages have to compensate for where we're at right now, or this senior care could collapse.
Despite the funding challenges, there's excitement for the future.
We're just in the process of redesigning this area right here.
Not only redesigning a courtyard, but planning a complete rebuild of the Nursing Home Care Center and adding a new wing of independent living units in New Hope, a project that is expected to take 4 years to complete.
I think this is the time to have a new person in there.
With her upcoming retirement, Rohde doesn't want the attention on herself.
I just want to walk out and kind of be by myself because it's really hard.
But wants the focus to be on the people who made the care possible.
There's no one I'd rather enjoy this with than the staff. I wouldn't. They're the ones that really, they make me.
In New Hope, Corey Bork, CCX News.
St. Therese has a new CEO lined up to help replace Rohde, Craig Abbott. And despite her attempts to avoid the spotlight, Rohde will receive a significant honor for her years of service. She will be inducted into the McKnight's Senior Living Hall of Honor on May 12th in Chicago. Minnesota's largest high school has come up with a unique way to make up for the staffing shortages in the cafeteria. This week, we checked out a new program at Wayzata High School that not only solves a problem, but provides students with some valuable work experience. On any given day, roughly 2,800 students make their way to the Wayzata High School cafeteria for lunch.
When they get here, they're hungry, they're standing in line, they want their food.
But before we get to this point,
do you want to switch?
There's a team of unsung heroes who put in the hard work of getting all the food and beverages prepped in the hours before lunchtime hits.
We are making protein bites right now. Right now I'm restocking the milk. It makes me feel good to know that I'm helping out The lunch ladies do so much for us, and it's really nice to be able to help them and make sure that they're not working so hard.
Angel Gathumbi is one of 15 students who signed on to help fill a glaring need when the cafeteria was hit hard by staffing shortages earlier in the year.
No one's applying at the time, so we were extremely short. So we couldn't even make all the stuff that we wanted to make just because we just didn't have the staff for it.
For a while, school staff members helped to fill those gaps, but then they decided to see if students had any interest.
Originally, I was a little concerned that students wouldn't want to serve their peers or be in that type of a role, and it picked up in popularity, I think, because they're paid a decent wage and they're earning credit at the same time.
Officially, these students are part of a work experience class. They earn a credit that gets them closer to graduation while also earning nearly $17 an hour.
It was a great way to make extra money. I'd already be at school and I didn't have a second block. And I knew that they were super short-staffed, especially with COVID.
For some of the students, there was a bit of a learning curve because they didn't have prior work experience, but the seasoned staff appreciated the help.
We've enjoyed the change. I think it's also kind of freshened up the attitude of some of our existing employees because they have to put themselves in their shoes. So it's been fun.
A fun experience that will likely continue for the foreseeable future.
We want to give them like a full perspective of like what we're doing day in and day out. So like assembling the sandwiches, assembling like actually making some of the wraps, making protein bites, making some of our popular items that kids really like and enjoy.
It is a big job. It's a very big job. But that's okay. We're here to feed the kids.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A week of dry weather for spring sports was a welcome sight for athletes, coaches, and fans, capped off with a beautiful Friday afternoon and a great matchup in prep baseball.
Senior Day at St. Michael Albertville Baseball as the Knights hosted Wayzata in a late conference tilt. Top of the second inning, and the Trojans' Jonathan Pribula rips a single to right field. Brady Lash scores, and the game is tied at 1. And that's the way it would stay for a long time. Some great defense and pitching in this one. Wayzata pitcher Riley Leatherman with a strikeout here in the 4th inning. He allows just 1 unearned run in 6 innings of work. Later in the 4th, Trojans' second baseman Michael Ream takes a hit away from Ryan Fisher to end the inning. 5th inning, Knights pitcher Zach Rowlands pitches out of trouble with an inning-ending strikeout as the Trojans leave 2 runners on. The Knights get a leadoff double in the bottom of the 5th, and when they try to get the runner over to third, watch the layout by Leatherman on the bunt try, makes the grab and fires to second base to double up the runner. Romans was strong all game. He goes 8+ innings, striking out 8 and giving up no earned runs as this game goes to extra innings. Finally, in the bottom of the 9th, STMA wins it. Thomas Ojado sends a ball to deep right where it finds Green. Hayden Olson trots home with the game-winning run as St. Michael wins the game 2-1 in 9. The Knights did lose Saturday to Hopkins.
The Armstrong boys lacrosse team is off to a very good start this spring. Jay Wilcox has highlights from their game against Osseo Park Center.
Unbeaten Armstrong plays host to Osseo Park Center in boys lacrosse. Armstrong strikes early as Jamison Essen feeds Josh Mordahl for the quick low shot just 55 seconds into the game. But OPC goalie Xavier Wells is superb, making several big stops in the first quarter to keep his team in it. Nate Albrecht attacks here, splitting the defense and bouncing it past Wells as Ian Murphy and the Falcons lead it 2-0 after the first quarter. Early in the second, Albrecht cuts across the slot and buries another on his way to a hat trick. It's 3-0 Armstrong. Wells turns it over and Aiden Robb capitalizes, burying it with the long stick for a 4-0 lead. Wells stops the first shot here, but Essen, flying through the air, tucks the rebound home to make it 5-0. It's 6-0 Armstrong at halftime. Second half, and Reed Lucas buries the first of his 2 goals. Armstrong improves to 6-0 with a 12-2 win over Osseo Park Center. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Armstrong added a 4-3 win over Breck on Saturday to push the Falcons' record to 7-0. In Lake Conference boys lacrosse, Wayzata challenged the team at the top of the league this spring, Minnetonka.
Wayzata boys lacrosse riding a 2-game winning streak, traveling to Minnetonka to take on the Skippers. First quarter on the Trojans, Madison Kuhl comes out from behind the Tonka net, keeps his shot low, it's in the net, and the game is tied 1-1. Later in the first, Matthew Larson passes to Otto Berg, who has the ball knocked free, but Berg picks it back up and scores, and the Trojans are ahead 2-1. Couple of passes here for Minnetonka before the long shot from Stephen Reddington for a goal. It's a high-scoring first quarter, 3-3 after 1. Second quarter, the Trojans' Jack Peterson muscles his way to the net, beats the defender and the goalie with his shot for a goal. It's a 4-4 game at halftime. Ahead to the fourth quarter with Wayzata down 1. Will Schneider, a long run up the middle, and then passes to Cullen Britz, who scores. Wayzata has tied it at 5 with 10 minutes to play. But the Skippers break the tie a few minutes later. William Sadowski bounces a shot in off the turf off the pass from Isaac Forst, and it's 6-5. Minnetonka adds 2 more goals before it's over. Forst nets one here. Minnetonka remains unbeaten on the season with an 8-5 win over Wayzata.
And that's it for sports. More news after this.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.